Perez. Wilco makes a run ahead of him. Bergkamp suddenly changed pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp! That's magnificent! The move, and then this, which left Dabi's ass totally stranded.
Hello and welcome to Bergkamp Wonderland, the home of Arsenal podcasts. Right, we could have a moan, we could stamp our feet and shout and scream and go, this isn't good enough, or we could take the positives out of this and go, top of the league after 6 games. That's not too bad. Yes, the invincible season is out the window, but that doesn't matter. We were by far the better team. We had the most attacking creativityness and all that other good stuff. And for me, I enjoyed the game. We just got caught out a couple of times. And yeah, I can see why you lot are angry in the chat because it was the same thing over and over. They get us on the counter attack. We go 3 at the back, trying to pump the midfield full of players, and then we get caught out. We get our pants pulled down and our bottoms smacked, but it's a learning curve, people. Don't get angry. Look to the future. Saka is back, and they look great. With me this afternoon, this morning, tonight, whatever time it is where you are, to discuss this, it's Deac. How you doing, Treacle?
Yeah, I can appreciate what chat are doing and saying it's extremely difficult. I'm trying to rant and rave about a Fabio Vieira pass pre-pod. We'll talk about it as the time progresses through the game as we break it down.
Busy hunting for it.
I'm hunting desperately for a video. It's like prime Meza Ozil pass. It was creme de la creme. Stunning stuff. But anyway, difficult watch. But yeah, you're completely correct. It's very much in a situation where we're trying to grab hold of positives and hold on to them because that's all we can do right now.
Is there any point shouting and screaming and going, same bullshit again, it's an absolute disgrace, don't we ever learn? But just look at that game. If you'd have taken the goals out of that game, which you're never going to do about a game, and you just look, if you did the highlights about the goals, is the point I'm making, we were scintillating. We were effervescent. We were tickling the balls of everybody that was watching, and we were magnificent. And sooner or later, this is going to come together, and they were just lucky that 3 times they caught us on the break. And this is what happens when you play attacking, fast-flowing football. And just wise heads, they knew what they were doing. They got us on the same ball twice. And if that goal wouldn't have been disallowed in the first place, then we'd have probably gone on and won the game. Not just because we'd have been 1-0 up, but because we were the better team. And I enjoyed it. It was beautiful to watch at times, but it was also infuriating. We were still making the same mistakes over and over. But learning curve, people. Should we say hello to some of the
Let's
angry
do that.
goons
Let's
in the
totally
chat?
do that. Yeah. 100%.
Right, Andy's there. Same old
Who's here with us?
Arsenal.
Who's here with us to sort of absorb some of this misery and try and turn into positives?
And says, same old Arsenal under Arteta. First real challenge of the season, failed. Blame officials all you like, but we were lightweight second half. That's because we were stunning in the first half. We had our moments in the second half, but you are coming up against a manager who has won loads of stuff with Ajax in Holland, in Ten Hag, and they got some players out there trying to turn things around, and they want to run like we were. Anyway, Gabriel and also says Gabriel and Saliba defended well against poor teams we played against before today. However, they simply weren't good enough against the top 6 side. We'll see if they weren't. Give them more time. Colito, howdy guys, not what we expected. Loki, hello. Ronry, did we play well for lots of this game? Did VAR shaft us? Are we a young team with young managers still learning? Are we still top? Well, there you go. I think we can go now. That's summed everything up. Cheers, Ronry. Lovely. Formerly Noza, as you've got wise words. Now, we are going to lose 3 games in a row. That's how it works. Hashtag formerly Noza out. Kalito, May Day started out so nice. Oh, my day. I'll say it's not really May, is it? Ron Ree, the fucking negativity by so-called Arsenal fans is more typical than that performance. That's it. Paul Nell, Man United plus VAR 3, Arsenal 1. Loki, how the fuck did we lose to that pile of shit? Good point. I can see a virtual meter of Deac slowly filling up with things he wants to say, and he's about 82% at the moment. So I've got to quickly get through these.
I'm not doing well.
it's going to erupt because look at the boy's eyes. I'm not giving anything away, but the boy's eyes telling you a story of disobedience and rule breaking. Loki says, why don't we shoot more? Oh, I never thought of that. Super. See what Super's got to say. Stopped in for a light before I head out to the beach, the Bush Stadium for some cards and cubs. Oh, I'm not sure what that means. Deac's gone. It's gone. Men in Black to try and cover up the evidence. Noza says, how long are you going to use the young team and young inexperienced manager excuse? Yeah, quite a few times. Who else have we got here? Tubeful says small. Excellent. That's probably the best comment so far of the day. Thunder's in here. What does some Thunder had to say? Hard to say. I still couldn't make out our formation off those 3 subs. I expect him to start on Thursday against Zurich. Zurich. Tulby full. Too much ball watching by our backline. They were slow to react to the runs. Other than that, a decent performance. Mr. Wilson, dear boy. Arsenal were competitive. That's all you can ask, really. Fuck me. The autocorrect on some of the shit you lot are doing and making me look like I can't read. Avon, glad you asked. Deep fucking despair. There you go. Honest, if not anything. Rudy, the cancelled goal decided the run of the game. Yep, that's what I thought at the beginning. What else have we got in there? RBX says, cheer up. Come on, you Gunners. Lovely. Apurv, is there Apurv? Deflating result. That's true. Che Boy 72, that was like an old school Arsenal United game. We played all the football, they scored the goals, annoying as fuck, but we needed to keep the level up. How did you get around the swear filter? Unless Nick is there doing what Nick does best. What else have we got in here? Jim Eves, that's a name I haven't read anything from. Unhappy, but we were the better team, played them off the park. Exactly. Hendricks, my friend, an Arsenal mate in Brazil, fellow Corinthians fan. I can't say anything right now. I am so mad. Fair enough. Natasha is here. Hello, Natasha. It's been a while, I think. Disappointing, but if we'd played against 12 men on the pitch, this is the result. FOYM. Fuck off, you Manx. And finally, before we let Deac speak, he's at 101%. Noza, we really have the youngest manager and the youngest team. Nick says he clicks buttons. Deac, right, what have you got to say about the game? I have made notes on the game, but I don't really think we need to go into the notes in too much detail. Just let rip. Have a few words with the punters.
It's difficult. I want to unleash and get really, really annoyed. It was a very frustrating game. I think everybody's on the same page when it comes to the game with what happened with the passage of play where Martinelli's first goal got disallowed. I think we can all agree that the moment that changed, it just shifted completely into United's favour. We've seen so far in the league and everything like that, we're 6 games in, and we've seen when situations go against us, we bounce back, but we still have this mentality when it comes to United. I put out a tweet and I feel like this really, really hits home. So Arsenal have the mindset of still playing the Man United of old and not the Man United of now. We definitely should be destroying them, that's for sure. So I feel like we're still very much caught up in that and the VAR decision. It's supposed to be clear and obvious. As much as it might be a foul, it's a light one at best. VAR's job is to be for clear and obvious fouls, and they showed replays of the referee who's, can't remember his name, on the day.
Tierney, was it?
Yeah, that's the one. Salford boy. So from Manchester himself, was well within 10 yards of the incident and didn't feel like there was anything there because it was a light foul, because fouls go on. It's whether how light they are. So you're being impeded for being physically stronger than somebody else, basically, is what we're trying to fathom out, really. And the goal was disallowed. And, once again, I feel like the celebration police has only really come into play since VAR, because let's be honest, the first ever celebration police was the VAR.
Yes, they don't like it. Even in the second half, there's one point where we knew the player was offside, and they just let it run and run and run and run. Another stupid thing with football that they need to get rid of. Right, let's go and have a look through some of the notes that I've made. I stopped doing it towards the end of the game because I was getting frustrated.
Yeah,
lineups. Continuity is key for Mikel, isn't it?
Agreed. Looking at the lineup and everything, I really like the fact that we had Zinchenko back in the lineup and Tierney wasn't. As much as Tierney did a good job in the game against Fulham, I really feel like we lost something when it came to Zinchenko. Clearly, Arteta's playing with inverted wing-backs with White and Zinchenko originally before the knee injury Tierney had to sort of jump in for. Was playing with inverted wing-backs, and Tierney really couldn't do that and ended up being, very much out on wing, which is what he was used to doing anyway. So overall, I thought the decisions to be made for the lineup was correct. However, the reason why Zinchenko was picked over Tierney is because we don't have the luxury to be able to have that lack of quality when it comes to inverted wing backs. We don't have Partey at the moment. Zinchenko is there to assist him if anything goes wrong, and with Sambi, sorry, I mean, and we don't have Partey. So overall, I feel like we started the game correct with who we chose. I just feel like we're very unlucky with decisions made in the game, but I don't know how you feel about that one, Danny.
Yeah, I think some of the decisions weren't going to go our way, but they never do at Old Trafford. But I'm not blaming the decisions on this. I'm blaming just their inability to go, we're attacking, we're three at the back, and through balls, cutting them open. They were far too easy to. We're pushing so far upfield for the whole of the game. Thunder says, where is this, quote, we played them off the park coming from? First 10 minutes, it was them. The rest of the first half was us. The second half, we both had bouts of us doing well. That's where it comes from. I think we were brilliant at times. We were scintillating at times. It was wonderful to see the football we were playing at times. Carlito says, giving up one counter-attacking goal, you'd think we'd learn our lessons, but 3 counter-attacking goals is unforgivable. That, Carlito, we should have that made into a T-shirt and given to every player in the squad, because that sums up exactly what the problem was. 3 times we got done with the same fucking thing, and it could have been more. They could have got another 2 from that. They were just wrapped up. We'll come to Ramsdale in a minute doing his usual once a game fuck up, but luckily this time it didn't really cost us anything. And lots of numbers. He won't be at the World Cup. Doubt any English referee will be there. We're all too shit. Correct. I've put 6th minute. Jesus down for the second time. Gabriel and Penendez are arguing over it. Penendez is a nasty piece of shit, and
it's over by the corner flag, right? With Martinez, yeah. Martinez walks off like he's done the business and whatnot, but at the end of the day, he conceded a foul. But I get sick and tired of this attitude where just because it's in the early minutes of a game, they get kind of like a cool down period. If a foul's a foul, no matter what minute it's in, I'm sick of it. I'm completely sick of it. And, Martinez was going to get done by Gabriel Jesus there and concedes the foul, and he's just fine with it. He's fine. It is what it is. You get that grace period. So I get sick and tired of that.
Well,
I really do.
Exactly that. 8th minute, McTominay with a huge shove on Martinelli. Should have got a yellow for it, but like you were just saying, it just let the first few away. So you might as well just go out and kill their players at the beginning of the game.
Grace period. You get the grace period. We talk about it all the time. It's very prevalent in conversations between football fans. We all very much know that that's kind of the mentality. Referees are not completely oblivious. They're not living under a rock. They know that that's a thing. And it very much came quite prevalent when it came to today's game, for sure, at United. We all know we're going to have a tough game against United at Old Trafford, but we kind of called it, though, didn't we, with regards to the bad officiating that's in our country, and it's been rife since VAR. I feel like I've been saying this from the very beginning. VAR really allows referees and linesmen to make or not even make a decision. Never mind it be the wrong or right one, just not make a decision. We saw it yesterday. Can't remember what game it was, but there was a penalty appeal, and the referee didn't even make a decision. He didn't even call like it was clear, or it wasn't a pen, or it was a pen. He didn't call anything. He just went, I'm just going to wait for my boys in the ear. Can't remember what game it was. Maybe it was the Aston Villa-Liverpool game. Not sure. But it was just like completely was just going to listen to what the conversation was before even making a decision himself. So I'm not shocked at stuff like this. Not shocked. It's getting worse. Getting worse.
Barbs is a new name to the chat. Hello, Barbs. Nice to have you here. This loss is a wake-up call for the team. Hope Arteta learned something special from this game. He will. We've seen from the documentary. He will go in there and it will tell them where they've gone wrong, and then it will get them in individually and show them where they've gone wrong during the game. And so, but it's just annoying it happened 3 times in one game. They knew what to do, and they did it superbly. We've had a donation from Cliff. $4.99. Thank you very much, Cliff. Lads, all these excuses, for fuck's sake. First team we faced with any real quality, and we were outclassed by one man. You, all or nothing Muppets, get real. Gooners till I die. Well, yeah, we were. I
agree with you. We
Yeah.
agree with you, Cliff. But we're in a situation we're trying to grab desperately and grab hold of positives out of the game, or even maybe just vent a little bit, but not just. We're not making excuses. Definitely, that's not what we're doing here. We're all watching the same game. We're all gooners. We're all just trying to grab hold of positives.
And what happened was unacceptable, and it made me fucking angry. But you balance it up with the rest of it. We had a really good dinner, but then when it come to end of it, someone had done a big poo in the pudding, and so it wasn't good. If that's a terrible analogy for you. Right, let's move on to the Martinelli goal. 11th minute, Martinelli. Odegaard gets the ball in midfield off of Eriksen, and it bounces to Saka, who puts a great ball down the middle, just like Man United did to us. We did to them with that first ball, straight through all of their defenders, through to Martinelli, who sprints off, sort it past the keeper. ... VAR said no. Now looking back at it, I think it might have been Xhaka with a foul on one of their blokes straight away, and then it was Odegaard on their player on Eriksen. I think it was fair. It was definitely, I don't know, if that would have been us, I'd have been shouting for a foul.
All I'm saying is if that, it's a foul, but it's a light foul. It's a soft foul. Now,
it takes you that long to decide, yeah.
VAR is, its tagline is clear and obvious fouls. The referee, as I was saying, was 10 feet within that. It was within that foul, and he didn't feel like it was a foul. He felt like it was light. Is his opinion basically VAR is proving, or the VAR referee is proving that his opinion doesn't mean squat? That's all it's telling me.
Yeah, and says referees are the worst this year than ever before, and I thought they were bad enough for the last 2 seasons. I originally supported VAR. I never supported it, but the referees aren't good enough to implement it properly. I hate VAR. I hated the idea of it because it takes out the instant reaction of a goal out. So there's no point celebrating now because you've got a chance you're going to look like a dickhead. And VAR should give you 100% accurate version of what has happened. And then the referee's interpretation of that still ruins the game. I take it you weren't a fan of VAR?
Never a fan of VAR. No. I hate the idea of it. I've been moaning about it since the beginning, and I'm moaning about it now. I'm not even moaning about the fact that referees are making the incorrect decisions. I just mean with like the basics of refereeing decisions being changed due to VAR. Now raising the offside flag once like a passage of play has been made, regardless of when the play's been the players touched the ball. I find that sort of stuff, like it allows that grace period of error to be made by said referee because they have the defense of the VAR system that comes into play. All that tells me is that we now have an officiating area of football in this country where it's not up to par, and it's showing. It's like watching Mesut Ozil in prime when he was playing for Arsenal, and the players around him are just, Olivier Giroud, as much as I love him, 12 games, or was it 12 or 13 games, didn't 16, get himself a goal. It was, it's something completely stupid. And Mesut Ozil was on course to, get the assist records for the league and take over Henry and players like Fabregas as well. It's very much like, the referees on the quality level, or the officiating isn't on the quality level of the football that's being played right now. And they're lagging behind and they're making errors, and we're seeing it every single day.
I think this kind of sums up the refereeing in this country. Most of the teams in the Premier League are from London. There's one referee from London, hello cheeky, and there is 112 from the northwest. That is unacceptable. Cliff follows that up with not you two lads in the comment, not you two lads in the comments.
Oh, fair.
Starting to fight, Cliff. I didn't think you did mean us, but even if you did mean us, Cliff, you can give us money.
Calm down.
Call us whatever you want.
Just have a breath, boys, all right? We're all on the same fucking team here.
Mr. Waffles is here. Nick says, ref looked directly at it and said, no foul. VAR are only supposed to tell him what he missed. And when you have to look at something over and over and over and spend a minute looking at it, you really are looking for reasons not to allow it.
Really bores me. The thing is, what the commentators, I think it was maybe Lee Dixon, because I was watching it on a live stream. Lee Dixon was one of the gentlemen that was talking about it. And it's, the more and more you watch something, the more and more your mind says yes.
And in slow motion.
Yes. The more and more you watch it, of course, it's going to... The slower and the more you watch it, because we all say it at home. We're like, when we watch it in real time, we're like, oh, fucking hell. Well, I'm not good. I don't know what to say about that. I'm not the referee. But when you watch it in replay, oh, fucking hell, it looks awful. Oh, it looks really bad. Eriksen felt the lightest of touches in his lower back and decided to feel like he was going to get shot in his spine by a sniper. And he fucking went down like a sack of shit. Referee watched it. Didn't see anything wrong with it because it's a light challenge. But we know that it's United at Old Trafford. Of course, they're going to get the benefit of the doubt. Anyway.
And they were shitting their pants after, just before halftime. We were so good. It was scary. And I thought that we're going to do this. We're going to carry on and it's going to be fantastic. And it turns out it kind of wasn't. Yes, I think who is doing it? It is someone from ABW. It is probably Carl is doing Twitter Spaces, our first ever one, and Femi has joined him, and they have got about 80 people there. Bloody hell! So yeah, well done. We're attacking Twitter on all fronts. Right, Malawi says last season Arsenal tended to lose 1 or 2 more after each defeat. Hopefully this season it won't be the same. We do hope too. Barb says Thomas Partey has shielded our defences until his injury. When we introduced Sambi, it was a bit protective because he understood his role. When he left the field, the defence got completely exposed. Well, he's not a defensive midfielder, is he? But I think, well, what do you think of the 2 games that Sambi has played in so far? Because I've been quite impressed with him.
I think he's been done. I think he's okay. I think he's okay. I don't think he's as good as everybody's saying he is. I think he's very much just if you told me whether he was a clone of a potential Partey or a clone of a potential El Neni, I would go with the latter. That's for sure. And then that's no hit on El Neni. I really like him. I think it was a really good idea on getting him on that contract, considering the options that we had in the midfield area. So, but I think he's done okay. I think today he came up real opposition and he really struggled. But we were trying, and I still feel like we've got that mentality that we're still playing on Man United of old, regardless of where it is. I feel that the we saw it in the documentary, didn't we? When Arteta came up with the idea of playing the music from the Cop, Never Walk Alone, to kind of get in the atmosphere, to make them feel like they're playing under pressure. It really gives you an idea of like psychological attacks when it comes to football. And I'm sure playing at Old Trafford, as they call it, what is it, the football of dreams, or the dreams of whatever it's called, malarkey they've called it. It's very much just a massive mind game, as it is the lads kicking the ball around on the pitch. Danny, I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm sure it's a massive mind fuck to be playing at Old Trafford with those sorts of situations. Danny, we can't hear you, mate. Theatre of Dreams, that's the one.
I was listening to see who was doing our show, and it was Carl. I was just having a quick listen, so I had to mute myself. Jonathan makes a good point. There was so much more physical interventions on Jesus that went unpunished. Then we have a perfect goal wiped out by VAR. VAR equals disaster. It's true. Togai says, very proud of the performance up until the subs we made. Lost momentum from there. And then Waffle says, yeah, like saying Theatre of Dreams, Theatre of Tears. All right, let's move on a little bit. 18th minute, great run and cut in by Saka. Leaves his man and is off. But no one there. Yeah, he put a brilliant cross in. Sometimes I'm writing this as I'm watching the game and I'm trying to keep up with it all. So that's why I'm a little bit confused with what I've put. So he has a really good cross, but nobody there. I think Odegaard was trying to run in or someone, but there was just nothing there. 24th minute, Saliba booked. He had no choice as Sancho was on the run and they just pushed up for another attack. Yeah, that was one of the other times that we did stop their quick counter attack. So well done, Saliba. Good to see him doing that. I really do like Saliba. He's so confident and big. And great with the ball, great at passing it around. 25th minute, Sambi goes in late on Fernandes, studs up and scrapes him down his leg. Brilliant, but luckily he got away with that. I suppose we should be fair and go, some things we did get away with, because that should have been a yellow. I mean, it was late as well, so I've seen red. If that was Xhaka, that would have been red, possibly. What do you think?
any situation, it's becoming a running meme now with the Xhaka situation. We see challenges all the time. The Virgil van Dijk challenge from this weekend. Challenges like that in the Everton game. If that was Xhaka, that's a straight red. I think the referee would just already have his hand on the red card, like he preempted it, like Minority Report. It gets to that comical level. So, doesn't shock me anymore, Danny. Just doesn't shock me anymore.
Mr. Waffles said, I'm not upset by this game as I thought I would be. We played well and got done by VAR and a gamble that didn't play off. Another superb. This is why we should get you on again, David. You can play as a bit of
I spoke about it. I spoke about it in my Discord when the changes were made. And my live reaction, because I kind of post my live comment at that particular point. And my live response was Eddie, ESR, Vieira. Wow, Arteta wants this more than anything. I saw it as a positive. What happens if Arteta makes the decision to, bring on Holding or make a like-for-like change? He went in hard. Okay, it backfired. But at least he tried to go and be confident with his decision. A decision made is a decision made, whether it's right or wrong. And unfortunately, we got caught unstuck. But I liked the fact that he had the balls to make that decision. So let's hope and pray that the players, make up for those situations and repay their faith in Arteta.
Yes, hopefully. Demsec, I'm not sure if you're in the chat or not. Demsec is where is it? I've moved it. He sent me 2 screen grabs just to have a quick look at, talking about fair and unfair. Challenges, so I need to get rid of this off the screen. Look at this. He says, which one of these two is a foul? That one, which is Martinez on.
That's the corner. That's the corner flag. The early challenge.
Yeah, Jesus. So he's got he's kneed him in the knee. He's got his foot on top of Jesus's foot.
He's stamping on him. Yep.
Yeah,
and he's about to elbow him in the throat.
Yep. And nothing happened. Yep. And this one, Odegaard puts in a really light challenge on. It looks like Eriksen's already kneeling as if he's going to go over. Of
course.
And then which one of these two people would you say was given a foul against? Because one of them was and one of them wasn't. Thank you very much, Demsec, for that, if you're watching.
All you got to say is United are playing at home. I don't know what to say. United are playing at home. That's pretty much just bread and butter right there, isn't it? Just bread and butter.
Sadly, it is. Right, where are we down to? Done the Sambi one. 29th minute. Great back and forth between Ramsdale and White to draw the Man United players out. See, there are some good things. There are some tactical stuff that they're working on, and then they would be drawing the Man United players out, and then we get them on the break. Great footwork from Ramsdale, who was, to give him his credit, he was pinging that ball all over the pitch today. But I've never played football after about the age of 12, so I've got no idea. But he seems to get the ball and then he goes judda and then kicks the ball. Why can't he just kick the ball the moment it comes back? Is it because the ball's moving and he's got less chance of it being accurate? But he dilly-dallies on that ball, doesn't he, when he's been on a pass back?
The reason why he's doing it, Danny, is because we live in a world now where sweeper keepers are very much what is the norm. You've got to class sweeper keepers as deep line playmakers. Ramsdale is your deep line playmaker. He's looking for that pass. I know what you're saying. He looks a bit jittery on the ball and he's not making decisions, but he's trying to look for an opportunity. He's really trying to look for an opportunity. If Ramsdale, every single pass he made where it created a one-on-one opportunity with the goalkeeper on the other end, I think Ramsdale will maybe have a couple of assists last season when it comes to his overhead passing. So that's the reason why he jitters. I know it looks a bit stressful, but he's looking for an opportunity, guys. He's trying to turn a negative into a positive, a defensive play into an attack.
Thunder says the first was given a foul, right? That was very early on in the game that led to our first free kick.
It was given, yes. It was given, yes.
They didn't. I thought they just stopped the game because Jesus was down. He didn't give a free kick for that.
They gave a free kick for it. It was a free kick.
Okay.
It was a free kick. The only reason we were talking about it at the start of the podcast is because it should be a yellow card offence. But he wasn't given it because of the grace period.
The McTominay one.
Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly right. So it was given. It was just we feel like it was a yellow card offence, but because of that early minutes grace period, that's all we're saying.
Someone asked a question. Carlitos said, how did Vieira look? I left after we conceded our third goal. People have said in the comments it was hard to figure out who was playing where. I mean, for them to make that substitute, to bring those three on.
10. He was playing in the 10.
He was playing in like a dual 10 with Smith Rowe, wasn't he?
Potentially. I think Smith Rowe was playing out on the left and cutting in quite a lot.
Because Martinelli had moved to cover at left wing back-ish.
Yes, that's correct. But I'm desperately
confusing.
still, as we speak, trying to find a video clip of the pass that Fabio Vieira made. As much as this, you've got to remember, this is his debut in the league for Arsenal, and he's been thrown in the last 10 minutes at United in a losing game at Old Trafford. I'm sure the situation maybe got the best of him, but there was a glimpse. There was a glimpse in the darkness that really showed what he could potentially give this Arsenal team, and it gave me shivers. I was blown away by it. I'm trying desperately to grab hold of positives out of a negative, and this is exactly one of those moments. And I'm waiting for a video. The moment I get it, I'm going to send it to Danny, and I'm going to get him to retweet it, because it was a moment. It was just a moment that really showed what he could do. So grabbing him, baby. I'm grabbing him.
Well, I'm downloading I've paused the downloading. I've just got a site where I download all the full games from in HD, but I can't download that and do all of this lot. So we're up to 31st minute. Amazing work from Odegaard. They can't get near him. He gets the ball at the outside of the box on the right. Lob passes it over to Martinelli to bring it down. And he had a superb shot, but De Gea got a paw to it, palmed it away. That would have been a stunning goal. Stuff like that makes me think, how can people not think we were the better team? Absolutely. The first half, from about the 12th minute to the 41st minute, Jesus and Odegaard were running that game. They were unstoppable, weaving in and out of everybody. No end product. It's just going to take a while. Do you think that the weaving in and out and the left wing, right wing, going back to get the ball detracts from Jesus' ability to score goals? Because he doesn't stay as a traditional striker, does he?
But he's not a traditional striker.
I know.
He said that,
but that's what we want. That's what we need.
Of course, that's what we want, and that's what we need. But it's working up until this point. We're not playing with conventional forwards anymore. Strikers don't exist. If you've played Football Manager, there's a lot of different variants of what you can play. And he's as Pep Guardiola says, he's one of the best pressing forwards on the planet. So it's like your deep line playmaker striker kind of style, but applies a lot of defensive pressure as well. It's a very unorthodox style of football to our general football heads, but it's what football is turning into now. There's a lot of variance within the same aspect of what football offers. So, what Danny's saying is right. It does detract from his ability to make those runs into the box as what a number 9, what we want to see anyway. But that's not how he plays anyway, and I'm sure that's not what Arteta wants him to play. Arteta wants him to play free-flowing football where the idea is, Saka, Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus are very much intertwined within each other.
We got 50-odd people watching, so if you do like it, give it a thumbs up. Maybe even subscribe if you want. It doesn't cost anything.
Richard, well played. Thank you so much, son.
Yes, Richard, we will send you a bill, though. It's $99.99 a week, so expect that. And then we're going to put it up to $2,000 a week. Lovely. Oh, here we go. Everybody, take a deep breath. 34th minute, typical. Anthony scores. They attack and get it to Rashford on the edge of our box in the right middle. All of our defenders are standing there, and Rashford puts it right through to Anthony, who runs, cuts in, and slides it past Ramsdale into the far corner. Zinchenko was in capital letters, so far out of position, there was no one there to cover him, to stop him, to challenge him, not even close. That's a complete free ball down that right-hand side, wasn't it? It's so infuriating. Someone said before the game, one of the pundits, might have been Jimmy Floyd or one of the others, said the problem with playing Zinchenko at left back is he's not good at defending. And we saw that today. Kept drifting into central midfield, kept attacking forward. Do you not agree with that?
No, don't agree with you there.
That's what he said.
No, that's fine. He can crack on. He's watching it live as we did at that moment. When you look back and you break things down a little bit more and you figure things out, you see that's not entirely the case. I think Zinchenko was really done dirty when it came to that situation. We've got to look back at the moment where Gabriel was making a challenge pretty much three quarters of the way in his own half, completely out of position. Hence the reason why Zinchenko was cut a lot deeper because of massive errors made by Gabriel. We've been talking about him all season about maybe we getting into a situation where we might want to see a Saliba White centre-back partnership because of situations where Gabriel's not really standing up tall and getting counted. He gets quite out there, quite early up, quite far up the pitch, out of position, which allows a through ball made through to Rashford, who then cuts it into Antony. The reason why Zinchenko was cutting in deep is because Gabriel was halfway up the field. So I don't know how you feel about it, Danny, but a White Saliba centre-back partnership might be on the cards sooner than we think.
As much as I see why Arteta does it, I mean, from what little I can tell, I think he likes to play White at right back because then they can scrunch up, make a back three, and then release Zinchenko down one side. But it makes the team so unbalanced. I personally want Tomiyasu playing at right back and then play Zinchenko at left back because Saka's had so much trouble doing anything because he's got no one supplying him from right back. When Tommy comes on, Tommy's pushing forward, he's giving him the ball, he's getting involved. White is not. He's only a centre back, a right back, and that's about it. You're not going to get much creativity from him. Not that I'm telling Arteta how to do his job. If you knew anything, we'd be managing a team right now. We wouldn't be sitting here talking nonsense to people who have got nothing better to do with their time. But my personal favourite centre-back pairing would be Saliba and Gabriel. But when you're playing because I think Gabriel, when you saw some of the last-ditch tackles Gabriel made today, two or three brilliant ones. There's nothing wrong with White, but I think if you can get two centre-backs...
Sure, but if you rewatch the first goal, there's been moments where Gabriel's been caught out of position, and that was one where he came back and bit him in his arse. And people have been talking about it for months now about the possibility of seeing a White Saliba centre back partnership because Gabriel's not been the strong, demanding type that he has been from the previous season. That's for sure. So who knows?
Yes, right.
That's also before you jump on, Danny. Someone, Big Pap, just put in the chat there. Can White or Saliba play left centre back? We've only been doing all this left centre back malarkey since we signed Pablo Mari. Since we signed Pablo Mari, before that we didn't give a fucking shit. We can play two right-footed centre backs in left back and left centre back and right centre back. You don't necessarily always have to have. It's a nice luxury to have being able to play out from the back. Because you've got that side of your body showing to be play out to your left back, but it's not be all end all. Like it's not like that's it. You must have always a left-footed centre back at left centre back. That's all I'm saying. So we've only changed when Pablo Mari came in. That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't mind seeing a situation where that might change.
So my next note is United. This is after the goal. United had the first 10 minutes. And then until their goal, it was all Arsenal. 39th minute. Again, when we attack, Saliba, White and Gabriel, or Bagriel, as I've put here, make a back three, and Zinchenko is either CM, left midfield, or left wing back. So when they do a quick counter-attack, we have no one covering the left side. This is a dangerous tactic. That was after 39 minutes, people. Even I could see it. And I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. When we're attacking, we have every outfield player in their half. And Anthony and Sancho, this is so risky. Again, that was after about 42 minutes. And at that point, we had every single one of our outfield players in their third of the pitch. And I'm thinking, fucking, that's daring. If that comes off, it's genius. If it doesn't come off, like today, you're thinking, I don't like this, but Arteta knows best. Not me. Here we go. Just before half-time, Xhaka is going left wing back and Zinchenko is going into the middle as a DM. Seen that a few times, then they go back again. That's more of a covering of each other. Half-time stats, Deac. Shots, 5-8 to us. Pass possession, 54%, 46 to us. Pass success rate, both 82. Tackles, 8-10 for us. Corners, 0-3 to us. That sounds, statistically, like we had the upper hand in that game, and I think we did. Thoughts at half time? Did you think we were going to end up the way it was going, or do you think Arteta was going to pull some magics from somewhere?
I was confident that we were going to get the result. I was confident that, even if we don't get the winning result, we get the result of maybe even a draw. A hard-fought draw against a team that's 4 on the bounce now for United at home. Okay, maybe they're playing the best team at the moment in the league, but as I said, I still feel like we've got that mentality of Man United of old and not the Man United of now. Which at what point does that change? At what point do we go to Old Trafford and things change a little bit? Because it's getting a bit boring that with this, we've played some really bad United sides in the last few years. I mean, we've gone through a rebuild and we've seen United go through. After Fergie left, they've been going through how many transitions? We still can't convincingly beat them. Exactly, we still can't convincingly beat them at. No, sure, but I feel like we've been a lot more sturdy than they have. And I feel like we've had a plan for the last few years. They're still very much just plugging holes in a ship that's got too many holes. They can't keep plugging their team with prime players and hope for the best. That's why there's such a big change around so frequently when it comes to personnel, because there's just so much change going on there. At some point, they're going to need a rebuild, and they're putting it off at the moment. It is what it is why they're doing it. And it's only going to happen for so long. They're not going to have a great season. I'm confident in that. I feel like, as I said, they're very much plugging holes with a ship that's got too many holes.
Rudy seems to have been abducted. If anybody knows where he is, make sure he's okay. I have to go and get quotes myself. From Kaya Kainak on Twitter, who's a lovely man, great hair. Arteta on VAR, quote, "What they said is that it was a soft foul. It's just consistency. The soft foul on Bukayo Saka with Mings is not a penalty. There's nothing we can do now. It's just consistency." And we saw Declan Rice yesterday for the West Ham game saying, if I say what I think, if I talk about what happened with the refereeing, I'm going to get a fine. Personally, Rice, you should have come out and gone, I don't care whether I get a fine. In fact, whatever the FA fined me for saying this, I'm going to match it and give it to charity. The refereeing was horrendous. PGOML are a disgrace, and VAR... You don't blame VAR. I've already used the word earlier. It's when you look at VAR and then you decide for yourself. What's that called?
Retroactive decision making?
No, when they're looking at it. It's how they interpretation. It is the referee's interpretation of VAR that is making an absolute pig's ear of all of this. Phil Macker's late, unacceptable. Nice t-shirt. SeniSketches.com. Go there, get all your t-shirts. Remember, use the ABW code and you get 0% off. That's it, because we're kind. SJ says disagree. We'll put in there why you disagree, SJ, and we'll read out what you said. You can even swear if you want. Craig Barlow, I agree with Deacon. It's getting boring when we keep losing Old Trafford. Brighton beat them for fuck's sake, and we are better. Phil says, we are overplaying in the last third and felt at times we could shoot earlier. Everybody thank Phil. That is his only one decent comment per show. The rest of it will be nonsense. Thank you, Phil. It was a nice being at the peak of your words. It's all downhill from here. Bless him. Arshad says, Odegaard needs to learn to shoot from Vieira. Yeah, that's worth talking about, isn't it? Vieira did like a couple of pot shots, didn't he? Apparently, they were saying that his record for the Portugal under something, wherever. I'm going to just talk until I go and find it. He's got a great record of goals, but in the Liga NOS, which is the Portuguese league, he was mainly known as an assister, wasn't he? So if I go Fabio Vieira, under 21s, 13 goals in 21 games. And Porto, 8 in 54. 10 in 76. All competitions. So what do you think about his pot shots? Do we need to do more of that, like Arshad says?
I'm still looking for that video. I'm still looking for that video from the Fabio Vieira pass in the late minutes of the game. Only a handful of people are talking about it on Twitter. If you just Google Fabio Vieira pass to Martinelli, it's like a part. The commentators don't even mention it. It's a pass that makes me very excited. I'm desperately trying to find a video. I'm going to send it to Danny, and you'll all love it. It's amazing.
We'll have to share it on Twitter.
But I'm happy. He's a confident lad. Obviously, he wants to. He's come onto a situation that's quite aggressive. United at Old Trafford. Losing his debut of the season in a new team in a new country, and the confidence to have a few pot shots fine with me. Fine with me. You know, it's not going to come off a lot of the time, but it shows confidence that he's able to take the ball on his own, not feel like he has to pass the ball. How many times have we got annoyed when we've seen Ozil, or even Martin Odegaard, when he should have had a shot, but he ends up playing that extra pass, you know?
Yes, Malawi makes a good point. One of the biggest disappointments is got to be Arsenal's failure to make more of corners and free kicks. I did think that our set-piece coach was probably pulling his hair out today, because all the corners we had in the first half were shit. The set pieces weren't very good. And near the end of the game, we're having a free kick, and then Xhaka was taking it. I mean, fuck's sake. Why is Xhaka scores 1 in 100? I still like Xhaka. Xhaka's been great this season. But don't take the free kicks, sweetheart, because you are fucking atrocious at them. That's why Saka didn't take them, because he seems to be the set-piece king.
Sure. Maybe it's the captaincy situation between him and Gabby Jesus underneath Odegaard. I don't know. Maybe they just pull rank that way. Who knows how they organise who takes these things?
Matt D'Souza, hello Matt, says my issues is with the officials was not the disallowed goal, but the number of team fouls that Tierney permitted over and over and over and over. That's what they do. Tulbyful says, I'm a bit worried about the way we get opened up on the counter so easily. Tottenham game won't be any easier, because that's the way they play their game. We'll probably do better against City. When will we start attacking fast? To put this into context, Deac, you've seen Man City this season conceding goals all over the place. Everybody is losing games to each other, conceding goals. I mean, looking at the league table already, we've now conceded 7, Man City 6, Man United 8, Chelsea 9, Liverpool have let in 6, Bournemouth 18. So many teams are letting in things, and we're still top of the league by 1 point. All we did was lose away at Old Trafford, and how many teams are going to go to Old Trafford and win this season? I think we deserved a draw out of that, but it doesn't matter, people. We'll do well, but I am worried about the Spurs game, because with Son and all those other players they've got just slipping it through for Harry Kane to run onto. Oh, God.
Sure, but I don't think Son and Kowaleski are playing very good football this season. We've got to try and grab the positives when we can. We're going into a situation where their form is quite poor. They're definitely not prevalently played through the Fantasy Premier League teams. That's for sure. You know, I think the Tottenham team isn't as good as they think they are. I think they're in a situation where they're still very much riding the high of what Harry Kane can do. There's going to be a season where he's not going to be that player anymore, and we've seen that come through recently with Aubameyang. He just wasn't that player anymore. And now he's playing for Chelsea. Chelsea fans are confused as to why they've signed him. And I'm very interested to see and get into a situation where we can wipe that smuggy look off his face. I mean, Joe, I'm going to enjoy that, especially all the Nothing documentary, that's for sure.
Craig makes a good point. The league is all over the place defensively. Yep, I agree with that. Let's move on. Second half. 51st minute, Saka down the right, turns 3 of their players in the box, crosses it in front of the goal for the second time he's did it this game, and Odegaard had a great chance to poke it in, and then it comes back from the left and over the top of everybody to Saka on the right, and Saka is dispossessed and brought down. Xhaka wants a penalty, and then straight after that, 54th minute, more great play. Saka through the middle this time to Martinelli, who lays it off for Saka, who goes far post and lob it to the near post, and it hits the crossbar. Jesus almost got there, and the final part of this 5-minute run, Saka on the run. Malakachi, I can't remember. I don't know how you spell his name. Their fullback, whose name begins with an M, has hold of his shirt as he's running off, still holds on to it, pulls him down, and we get a free kick. That should have been a yellow, but that run of 5 minutes just showed how attacking we were, and so many great chances that we just failed to put away, didn't it?
Yeah, you know, we've got. I think we're in a situation where we've done so well to the beginning of the league. We've got to remember that we've got not the youngest team now. Apparently, is it Southampton that have got apparently the youngest team in the league or something? I can't remember who it was, but there's someone else that's taken our title recently. But we've got one of the youngest teams in the league, and we've got the youngest manager in the league. We've got to remember that there's going to be moments where we're going to have to try and get the inexperience out of that way to turn it into experience. And the games like this are going to do nothing but bolster and push these players to turn into players that can. You can't be the great player that you are in the future if you don't have moments like this, or moments of diversity where you grow and become a better player. We've got to turn this situation into a situation where we can go on and push on and get that Champions League football that we rightly deserve.
Yes, and as a team, we are on the up. We're not on the down. Things
Agreed.
are getting better by
Completely
the game.
agreed.
This is a bump. Don't worry about it.
I agree. It's a bump.
We can feel free to get annoyed, but we can't get down about it.
Agreed. Yep.
Right, so did all of this lot. 59th minute. More great play. Varn comes out with the ball. Xhaka blocks him, gets the ball, gives it to Odegaard in the middle, who passes it down the middle of the pitch for Jesus, who has a low shot, but Odegaard blocks it and comes out for Saka to slot home. Brilliant. What a goal that was. That was peak Arteta, wasn't it? We say peak Wenger. That was Arteta ball. Gets the ball, dispossesses someone in midfield, gets the ball off and passes around. Bish, bash, bosh, straight to Saka, slots home. Saka's back. Were you ever in doubt?
I did call Saka being the first goal scorer. I got the score wrong, but I did call that Saka was going to get the goal today. I think that's going to do nothing for confidence for a very deflated Bukayo Saka. Not sure what's going on there, but whatever is going on, I hope that goal gives him the boost that he needs to now push on, because we've been playing very much, with a two-pronged attack out of 3 so far this season. As much as Saka's been introducing himself, he's not had moments where he's really gone and done what he can do. And hopefully this goal today will give him that confidence to turn into the player that we all know he can be.
I'm just looking at a replay on Twitter, the video of McTominay WWF slamming Jesus.
Yeah.
Fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
Mustn't dwell. We'll come to that later. So that's the 59th minute. Brilliant goal. We're all going, that's it. It's back on. It's back on. I had the T-shirts printed. I had the hats done. I'd got the plane up in the air with a banner saying it's back on. 65th minute. We lost possession. Zinchenko in the centre of midfield can't stop the breakaway. Fernandes passes the ball upfield right between all of our centre-backs to Rashford, who is one-on-one with Ramsdale. Ramsdale didn't really have much chance and shoots it low, and it's 2-1. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck me. How have we fallen for the same fucking thing twice? How can we do that twice in a game, not knowing what's going to happen later? What was your thoughts at that point?
Doesn't shock me. As I said, inexperience with situations like this rear their ugly head. But as much as I've been annoyed this afternoon and I've found the idea of being coming on to situations like this and talk about it quite difficult, as time progressed throughout the evening to the moment where we started recording, I really started to have moments where we got to try and grab those positives out of the negatives and not try and dwell about individual errors that have been made. We're a quality team. We're a young team. We're still gelling with a lot of players. It's very early on in the season, and we've played against. And maybe there is a conversation where we might not had the biggest test of games, but we've had one of the biggest. As United could be a shadow of their former selves, but if it's at Old Trafford, the 12th man, the fans in the grounds and stuff, they can really give a team a real big boost, and that's what we've seen today. I'm just going to try and grab the positives when I can, Danny, that's for sure.
As Ian Wright has just tweeted, bin it, #VAR. Wright is very rarely wrong about anything.
I agree.
What a love. I wish he was still playing for us, even at his age. He'd have. Imagine having Ian Wright as a poacher playing in this side at his peak.
He wouldn't survive. He wouldn't survive. What are you talking about?
He gets sent off every game.
Every game he gets sent off. I would do him in every single game. I loved Ian Wright. He's the reason why I have number 8 shirts, because I loved Ian Wright. It was a fantastic story. His book's brilliant. Go and check it out. The fact that he was working in the sewers before he made the chance of playing for Palace and ends up turning it into a career late on. It's such a wonderful story. Listen to it. But he'd be red carded every game. Especially
with his attitude. Calling them little
100%,
Hitlers.
He'd been red carded. We live in 2022. Everyone's wet flannels. You can't say anything about anybody without someone getting offended. My feelings are all offended. Oh no! You can't.
Everybody,
you wouldn't survive.
Call off the hunt. We found Rudy. Rudy is back. I had to read a quote about you earlier, Rudy. Sorry. Rudy is here and he says, Arteta on how he stops the team's confidence dropping after this result. Quote, it won't happen. The boss knows. Big Pop 90. Every time I see that, I think of Big Papa Pump with his lumps. Saliba's hips were wrong and he got turned.
He's 21.
Hips don't lie, Big Papa.
Shakira,
they don't lie.
Nice.
Yes. She's single now, by the way, if anybody wants to fancy chatting her up, taking her to the mountains. No, not for me. Rudy Rastos, he's got another quote for us. Cheers, Rudy. We've missed you. I wondered where you got to. Arteta on the game. Very disappointed. We haven't won the game because the game was there for the taking. 100% correct. We haven't won because we lacked discipline in certain moments. Also correct.
Yep.
To defend certain actions, and we weren't ruthless enough in their box.
I agree.
See?
I agree.
He knows.
I completely agree. We all agree with all these sentiments that are being made. We're just desperately trying to get the positives out of those negative situations and maybe look towards the future with further games because, the league isn't a sprint. It's a marathon, and we're very much the 6th game in the league so far.
And top of the league, in case anyone hadn't noticed. Rudy with another quote. Arteta on VAR. Oh, yeah, ready. That's the one I read out, Rudy. If you find any more, that was the only one I read. Apparently, Rudy said he had a call, probably from his agent, wanting more money from us for the zero that he gets paid for digging out all the quotes. Keysby Knight, hello, you're late. How you doing? Have we witnessed Saliba's first bad game?
That's his name on the weekend. No, I don't even say it's a bad. I wouldn't even say it was a bad game. I think everybody had a tough game.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it was a bad game. I feel like there was just moments, and I don't even feel like there were critical moments. I feel like United were fairly decent today. I don't feel like Arsenal were bad. I think they were just slightly better than us and took control of situations and buried chances that they got regardless, and we didn't do that. I don't feel like Saliba had a bad game per se. You could say that about the game where he got an own goal. At the end of the day, what you got to remember is he's only 21 years old and this is his first ever debut playing in this league. I think you got to give players playing from another league, playing in this league, a 6-month at least grace period. Let's not smother the guy. He's 21. I'm 35 years old. At 21 years old, I was too busy worrying about what I was doing partying on a Saturday night. You just give him a bit of time, let him grow into the role and see what he can do because we've seen what he can do and we just need to get behind him.
At 21, I was worried about being caught by the popo driving around.
This is my point. He's extremely mature for his age. He looks fantastic. He carries himself well personality-wise. He's got everything that is required to become a world-class centre-back. Let's not kill him. Let's lift him up like we did when he scored the own goal.
Yeah, perfectly. Shane says the Ben White experiment is over. Tommy and Tierney should have started. We had no experienced DM to keep it tight till we scored. Talking about the DM situation, we talked previously in other shows that White has played DM for Leeds a little bit. I think he played it for Peterborough a little bit and a little bit for Brighton. I think that role for Sambi is too much for him. He's not a defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
So could you see maybe White playing a DM? Because Arteta loves him. We saw him in the documentary saying, you learn so quickly. You're so quick to absorb information. And we need a DM and we need attacking down the right, which we're not getting from White. So maybe bring Tommy in at right back, play White as a holding DM. Could that work? Drop him back to make a back three when either of the wing backs is making a run?
What Shane's saying that we want to see the Tommy Tierney situation being played out on the wings and not Zinchenko and White. I really feel like Zinchenko offered quite a lot. He plays as an inverted wing back. Tierney can't offer that. He's a complete wing back or a further attacking up wing back. He doesn't play inverted. He can't come into the middle and do the business through the middle of the pot. He just can't do that. And, as Danny was saying, Ben White's got that ability to play in that area as well. The reason why Arteta played those two today is because we've got someone like Sambi Lokonga who just clearly, once again, really shows that he hasn't got that ability to play at that Arsenal level still. At what point do we say, right, okay, well, he needs to get a loan? I feel like if we signed ourselves, if we still have El Neni and Partey, I don't feel like Sambi's going to get if any games this season. And even if we sign another midfielder on top of that, I think that Sambi Lokonga goes out on loan, Danny. I don't know how you feel about that, but I feel like that would be, because if we had Partey and Elneny and we were pushing, there was rumours of pushing Tielemans or someone like that. If we sign another midfielder, I feel like that opens the door for a Lokonga loan.
As long as it's to a Premier League team, then
sure,
yes.
but
or maybe back to one of the big three in Portugal.
Sure, and that's fine.
I like having him around.
No, sure, but what I'm saying is he's still, this is his second season and he still isn't what we're looking for yet. I feel like Sambi Lokonga is a younger Elneny at the moment than he is a younger Partey. That's all I'm saying. We're going to get an Elneny and we're not going to get a Partey with him so far.
Yeah. Well, I think something needs to be done. He's great. You can see the balls that he's spraying around, but that isn't his job. And
no, that's not his job.
The hole that they came through for all three of their goals was a Partey-sized hole. And we need someone to fill that hole. Rudy with a quote. Martin Odegaard says, quote, I barely touched him. They keep saying this is the Premier League and want it to be physical. I don't understand how he can go back on it.
I'm surprised that Martin Odegaard come out and said that. If that's a
Rudy
quote.
has only once ever lied to us.
Well, I'm surprised that Odegaard said that. I felt like that's quite bold to come out and say that.
This one isn't a quote, but it is from Rudy. We scored from the Odegaard incident. Maybe it's a quote. He would have gave a foul if Martinelli wouldn't have scored that. No one would have complained.
Yeah, basically he's saying, if Martinelli misses that chance, that just goes to a goal kick. We don't come back to the passage of play towards that free kick opportunity where Odegaard goes into the back of Eriksen. He's completely correct. That's a brilliant point. Absolutely fantastic point, and really shows the holes in the refereeing in this country. Yeah,
Nick is just besmirching your good name. I doubt very much that Deac is going to be watching Pornhub when his missus is there. She'd probably get the right hump.
Very true. I've got your screen, so if I maximise it, there you go. It's all gone black now. So I've maximised you, and now I've minimised you. And you can see the difference in the glasses.
I can see the black square in the middle of it. Yes. Yeah. So
there you go. You can see.
Oh, quick, cover those eyes up.
See?
Never know who's watching.
You got the logo and everything streaming out. There you go. See, I've zoomed in. There you go. Disproving live. Live.
Nick's a cheeky monkey. The Crimson Pirate says the Roz got me at 21.
Well, there you go. This is my point. You've got to give him time. Saliba's 21. You've got to give him time. He's going to be brilliant. He's really brilliant already.
The Matt Hatter says our defence was naive. They should have learnt after the first time it happened. And lots of numbers. Benny Blanco had a good game. I think they all had an okay game. I didn't feel like he
had a bad game. I didn't feel like he had a bad game at all. I feel like he did really, really well with what United offer. The errors came through the middle of the park. You've got to remember, as much as he's a centre-back, White plays out right back at the moment.
Crimson Pirate says, disagree. Sambi was good and can see a future with him at DM. Now, we didn't say he's not good, but I don't think his future is DM. I thought some of the stuff he does is wonderful, but that wonderfulness would be better placed playing where Xhaka plays when Partey plays. So pay Partey where he does and have Sambi to come and play where Xhaka does, spraying the ball around. That I'd like to see. But other than that, I think that's the only position I want to see him in. But no problem with Xhaka either. Tullybyful says, why is Ben White always the one people blame?
He's easy.
Well,
because he's playing out of position. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I've never, so far this season, said anything. The guy's playing out of position, and he's playing really, really well there. He's keeping out a fit Tomiyasu based on appearances. He's doing exceptionally well at right back. People just take it for granted because we're conceding goals and we're still classing him as a centre-back. He's playing in a position where it's foreign to him and he's still doing the business. Gabriel, for me, has made more errors this season than any of the other defensive options that we've got.
Yeah, White's not really being made any. Saliba and Gabriel have both made errors. Jonathan says, I thought Sambi was excellent, much better than Elneny. Was he to blame for the goals against us? Not really. No, he was a little bit out of position, but that's not.
He was out of position for the first goal. I don't know whether I'd have to rewatch it again, but obviously Gabriel coming in quite deep to defend the ball. Maybe Sambi should be playing there to maybe intercept that ball. Maybe his positioning was incorrect for Gabriel to feel like he needed to do what he needed to do. So I'd need to watch it again. But why is Gabriel pushing up that far into Sambi Lokonga's position to intercept a ball when that should be Sambi's job? So I'm going to have to watch it again, but I'm just saying. So.
Petito, live from New York, says Sambi cannot play DM. No, he did it, but he just doesn't do it.
No, I agree. I agree.
Not his skill set.
I feel like he's an 8, not a 6. I feel like he's an 8.
You need to read the game really well to be able to play
100%.
In that blocking position. And
we're
just blessed that
I think he's a good player. I just don't feel like we should be playing
him
in this
him.
deep.
The only reason he's playing this deep
is because of injury problems. Yeah. Exactly. I completely agree.
Tulbiful, not saying you to blame White, but he does seem to be the scapegoat really easily. I think people always want a scapegoat. I think everybody, the whole defence, all 4 of them, need to take responsibility for that, for the goals, because they were the ones at fault collectively. Individually, they could have done something a little bit different, but to get done 3 times with virtually the same thing is ridiculous. Rudy with another quote. Arteta, quote, "The game was in our hands. It was there for the taking. On another day, when you are more efficient in front of goal, you win the game." It's so true. Can't add anything to that.
Danny, you said it perfectly at the start of the podcast. The Martinelli disallowed goal, that changes everything.
Petito says Sambi was at fault because he was not standing where he should be. Yep, fair that.
So you did. So did he watch the replay, Petito? Did you watch the replay? So am I correct in thinking? I'm trying to figure out why Gabriel was out of position. So if you can reiterate that would be great.
Rudy says, quote from Mikel Arteta on whether he feels more vindicated than disappointed. He says 100%. I feel more vindicated than disappointed. Right, let's move on with this. We've been yabbering on too long. 68th minute, the usual Ramsdale fuck up, keeping the ball too long, and Ronaldo almost got it off him every game he does that. No point talking about that. You know he does it. He's young, he'll learn. 70th minute, McTominay WWF slams Jesus and booked. I mean, fucking irritating.
We've seen it. We're going to see it each week. I don't know what we to tell you. We saw it. We saw it against Villa. Mings just literally picking up Saka and throwing him. When what do you mean? It's Arsenal. What do you want me to tell you? What do we tell you?
73rd minute, Eddie, ESR, Vieira on for Odegaard, who looked like he was struggling. Lokonga and Zinchenko, first game back after he missed a game from injury. Think we have gone a 5-3-2. Eddie and Jesus up front. Xhaka in the party hole. Martinelli and Saka playing as wing backs. ESR and Vieira in a midfield 3 just ahead of Xhaka. I edited that 4 times. Had to go back and change it from a 4-4-2 to a 5 to a 1 up. And I thought, I'm really not sure, like people said, what is going on. And then 75th minute, a throw-in for United, bounces off of Ronaldo, quickly through to Eriksen, who lays it off for Rashford. We stood no chance. We had so many people upfield. It was just, Ramsdale must be fat. We've seen Ramsdale when he concedes 1 goal. He's furious. The dressing room air must have been blue with him because he was let down horrendously by, is it called a high press, isn't it? Yeah, let down. Yeah. But you can't do it with players that are going to be that quick. I mean, Eriksen could put a ball through the eye of a needle. When you've got quick wingers, you've got Rashford, who is having the game of his life, and you've got Eriksen passing the ball around with gay abandon, and then you keep doing the same thing. So, do we just move on from that, or does anything you want to say?
Yeah, there's nothing okay. To say. There's nothing you to say. At the end of the day, we know what happened. Inexperience, showing its ugly head. As you know, these are the situations when it comes to having a young squad. You've got a high ceiling, but there's going to be moments where we might, shit hits the ceiling.
Yep, and then 82nd minute, Xhaka fell over. They almost got another breakaway, and we end the game on a high. Somewhere amongst this lot, Fabio Vieira did an Ozilish type ball, but we don't know where that was. I think it's off his tits, and he imagined
I'm not. I am off, but I'm not making it up. I've sobered up quite substantially since we've been talking, and I'm trying desperately to find this Fabio Vieira pass that was made to the back post to Martinelli.
Stop teasing
if guys, this is my Twitter handle right here. if you find a clip of it, please tweet me. I would really appreciate it. Or if you have a video, an extended video replay of the game, please do that. Send that to me as well, and I'll do the hard work. I don't mind, but oh my God, it really
I'll
shows
find it
what
for
you
you
can turn
later.
into.
I've downloaded 25%
please.
of the game, but I can't. I've had to pause it.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But it's a pass that really shows you what this Fabio Vieira guy can do and why there was so much hype around him in Portugal last season.
Like Crimson Pirate says, we went for it. Attack, then silly, true. And the final note I made, ending the game on a high, 86th minute, Saka tried to kill one of their players and got booked. Lovely. Don't fuck with Saka. He's 6'1" of muscle and skill. He'll have you. So that's all the notes I made on it. So other than that, that's I've got nothing else to add. Did we have any? I haven't got any questions highlighted. Anybody got anything they want to add before we go? Because we've been doing this for 1 hour, 10 minutes, and Deac has got Chinese. Have you ordered it, or are you waiting until after the show?
No, it's here. It's here.
How long ago was it? Did it arrive?
That's why I did that. I did that as the 5 minutes.
Oh, well, we're not taking any questions.
No, that's fine. It's fine.
I've got bacon that's 4 days out of date.
Jonathan saw it. Agree. That pass from Vieira to Martinelli was incredible. He saw it.
Are you teasing him, Jonathan, or did you really see it?
He knows what I'm talking about. It was a pass that really showed you what he could do. I can't wait to show you the video, guys. It was amazing. It was so.
Well, we can't show it on here because we'll get demonetized from the £1 we make from the show.
Yes.
Before we go, thank you very much to Cliff, who stuffed $4.99 down our pants. I'm hoping it's American dollars, not Canadian dollars, because that's almost worthless at the moment. So thank you very much for that. Thank you very much to everybody who has been watching, to all the new names I've not seen, like Barb's is a new name that I don't remember seeing unless people have changed their name. Malawi, that's another new one. SJ335, hello to you. Arshad, I don't remember your name. I think I'd recognise your little avatar. Not seen that before. See if there's any other names there that I've seen. Shane before. Crimson I've seen. The Matt Hatter, that's a name I've not seen before. So there you go. And Jonathan, I don't remember seeing Jonathan's name before. So there you go.
Jonathan's just jumped in. Jonathan's just jumped in and just gone, Fabio Vieira, baby. He saw that pass. He saw the pass. Couple
of quotes before we go from Rudy. Cheers, Rudy. Mikel on his biggest frustration, quote, that we should come here and win the game. From the way we played, because of our performance, to come here with these boys and play the way we have played and dominate. When you are here at the top, you have to win the game.
Agreed.
Oh, and finally, Gentile says hello. Right, that's it. We're all done. There will be for the first time in 28 weeks, there will be no Sunday roast. I've asked all of my lot. They either didn't reply or they can't do it. It has to be a certain type of person to do it. Deac has just spent an hour and a half of his life with here, so it's unfair to ask him to come and do it. And so I'm going to go and I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably I've got all these. Does anybody there collect Pokemon? Because if you do, I've got all of these listed on it. I've got all these to list on eBay. This side are the ones that I haven't done yet, and the rest of them I have. So there you go. That's it takes me fucking 800 odd Pokemon cards. That's what I'm going to be doing for them until the day I bloody die. And Crimson says he enjoys the roast. Another quote from Rudy. Vieira is a very good passer. I watched him in the under-21 game and thought he would be great for us. That might be from Rudy himself. Lovely. Mr. Deac, where can people find you if they like the cut of your jib?
They can find me here if you want to see more jib. You can find me on this Twitter sphere right here.
For people that are taking the dog for a walk, driving the car, having a poo, having a shower or a bath, what is it?
Yeah, agreed. It's at Deacon Justified, so DEACON JUSTIFED.
Lovely. Keysby Knight says we will hold a Virgil for the roasties. We made it to half a year. So
no vigils here. No vigils here.
No. Don't do those candlelight vigils. If I get murdered, do not do a candlelight vigil. I want people going out with axe, bats, guns, and knives and finding the people, chopping them up and chucking them in the river. That's what
I want. That's what I want.
But I live in a village, and stuff like that doesn't happen in my village. We're too nice here.
London.
Oh Jesus! I'm born in London. I was born in London, so I can say shithole.
We're done with
unless
it.
Unless you're a billionaire, I'd imagine it's quite nice.
It's not too bad.
Communities.
I've been in a few of those. They're quite nice. They're quite swanky.
That was with a balaclava on in the wee small hours, nicking silver candlesticks. But we won't go into that. Right, Deac, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure as always.
No worries. To be fair, as I said, I thought this was going to be quite difficult talking about a game like this with raw emotion. But I feel like we handled it quite well, and I feel like the chat handled it quite well as well. So thank you to everyone that jumped in. If you haven't already liked the video, please do. If you want to share it around. Let's try and spread some positive vibes when it comes to the Arsenal fan base after a situation like this. We're going to have a great season, guys. Let's just have a little bit of fun with it.
I agree with that completely. We will be back sometime this week. I might do a loan update. Chris will be organising the podcast. We're playing in the Europa League, back in Europe. Love it. Back in Europe for the playing some Swiss cookie.
Yeah, enjoy makers. Europe as well. We've got Europe as well, guys. Enjoy it. Let's have
smash
some fun.
all of them.
Exactly. Let's have some fun with that.
It will be indeed. Oh, look, everyone's all on Twitch at the same time. We got Crimson Pirate. We got Sky Spray. I can't say that. And
Skygy
spray. Sounds like something you'd spray cats when they're in heat. Right, I'm waffling. Thank you very much, everybody. We will see you later. Enjoy we've got 2 outro videos. I'll do the Dave and Steve one, and I'm going to make some more outro videos because they can get a bit boring. So here is the video. We will see you later. Thank you very much. Subscribe if you're new. Thumbs up. Thank you. And come on, you Gunners.
As soon as I scored that goal, I was fucking livid. Get down, dog. Splendid business.
He nearly caught the bloody thing. What are you talking about?
So I was just eating a full quiche. Well, you don't often see them at it. So when you see them in the supermarket, they need to be swagged, microwaved immediately, and get the brown sauce on and bosh, Bob's your uncle.
Never in doubt.